Your wife says something that cuts deep. You never listen to me. You don't help around the house. You always make it about yourself. Instantly, your body tenses up, your jaw clenches, and every fiber of your being wants to fire back with evidence of why she's wrong. But here's what happens next. You defend yourself, she gets more upset, and suddenly you're in a full-blown argument about everything except what she was actually trying to tell you. If this cycle sounds exhaustingly familiar, stick with me, because by the end of this video, I'll give you a 3-step framework that can turn criticism into connection instead of conflict. Most men hear criticism and immediately feel attacked. Your brain goes into defense mode because you associate criticism with failure, and nobody wants to be seen as failing, especially by the person whose opinion matters most. But here's what's really happening when your wife criticizes you. Most of the time, it's not actually about you being a terrible husband. It's a disguised cry for connection. When she says, "You never help around here," she's not conducting a factual audit of your contributions. She's saying, "I feel overwhelmed and alone." When she says you don't listen, she's not questioning your hearing ability. She's saying, "I don't feel emotionally seen or understood." The criticism is just the wrapper around a deeper need for connection, support, or validation. But instead of hearing the emotion underneath, you hear an attack on your character. So you start listing everything you did last week, or you point out times when she didn't listen either, or you shut down completely. And every one of these responses sends the same message to her. Your feelings don't matter as much as my need to be right. Here's the 3-step framework I promised you. Step 1 is pause and breathe. When you feel that defensive reaction rising up, literally count to 3 before you respond. This stops your automatic reaction and gives you a chance to choose your response instead of just reacting from your wounded ego. Step 2 is validate the emotion behind the criticism. You don't have to agree with the facts of what she's saying, but you must acknowledge the feelings behind it. Instead of saying, "That's not true, I helped with dinner last night," try, "I can see you're feeling really overwhelmed right now." You're not admitting fault where there isn't any. You're recognizing that her emotional experience is real and important. Step 3 is ask a clarifying question that shows you want to understand, not defend. Instead of, "What are you even talking about?" try, "Help me understand what I did that made you feel unsupported." This shifts the conversation from combat to collaboration. Let me show you how this works in real life. She says, "You're always on your phone. You don't even notice when I'm talking to you." Your old response might be, "I was just checking one work email." Your new response using this framework would be, "You're right, and I hate that you felt ignored. That wasn't my intention. What can I do to be more present?" Notice what just happened. You didn't grovel or take blame for something you didn't mean to do. But you also didn't dismiss her experience or make her defend her feelings. You acknowledge the impact, even if the intent was different. The magic happens when you realize that you can validate her emotions without accepting false accusations. You can say, "I understand why you'd feel that way," without saying, "You're right about everything." Validation isn't agreement. It's acknowledgement that her emotional experience matters to you. Here's what will happen when you start using this approach. First, arguments will get shorter because she'll feel heard faster instead of having to escalate to get your attention. Second, she'll start bringing concerns to you earlier before they build up into bigger resentments. And third, she'll begin to see you as emotionally safe, which means she'll be more open, more affectionate, and more willing to work through problems as a team. Your wife doesn't want a perfect husband who never makes mistakes. She wants a husband who can handle her strong emotions without falling apart or fighting back. She wants to know that when she brings something important to you, even if it's wrapped in frustration or criticism, you're strong enough to hear the heart behind it. This isn't about becoming a doormat or losing your masculine edge. This is about being confident enough in yourself that you don't need to defend every perceived slight. It's about being secure enough to say, I messed up when you did, and wise enough to hear her pain without taking it personally when you didn't. The next time criticism comes your way, remember that it's often an invitation to connect, not a summons to defend. When you can receive her emotions without immediately trying to correct them, you create something rare in marriage, a safe space where honest communication can actually happen. Comment below and let me know what you are currently struggling with in your communications with your wife. Click the link in the first comment or check my bio to discover an ebook that can help improve your communication with your wife.